My friends, welcome to Chicago.
New tonight, gunfire, screams, a terrifying ride for a rideshare driver caught in the middle. The apparent target, the passengers in the back seat. Let's get right to our Jermont Terry live in the loop. Jermont.
Erica, that Lyft driver was pretty bruised in the face and he refuses to get back behind the wheel. Now, although a few weeks have gone by, his attorney tells me that he is still too shaken to talk publicly about what you are about to see. But they insist that Lyft did not deliver on its promise to protect drivers in an emergency.
We all same room.
You're watching a Lyft driver who just picked up 2 passengers in Woodlawn. If you look closer, the women are slouching down in the back seat.
So they know.
The rideshare driver
They're
is
slouching down. They know there's attack.
Check out those headlights.
They're working with them.
When the Lyft driver stops at a light, watch what happens as the vehicle pulls up on the side.
They're working with the attackers.
They seem to have an understanding that somebody was after them. And of course, my client didn't have any knowledge of that until the shots came pouring in.
By then, it's too
Brian
late.
greeting, baby.
The passengers order the driver to get away.
Go! Go! Can you go fast? Can you go fast?
Bryant Green is the driver's attorney.
He had a gunman chasing him, and he had nowhere really to turn.
And they still coming. Turn right.
Sue the
With the vehicle
bastards.
still following, Dashcam video shows the driver picks up his cell phone, but he does not call 911. The attorney says he called Lyft, like drivers are instructed to do in emergencies.
It's because Lyft advertises to its drivers that it can share data with the police, the real-time location.
Yes.
The attorney insists that's the only reason the driver continues on dropping the passengers off to their destination. He believes police would be there when he
Lyft
arrived.
does not share.
Instead, a man waiting on the women beats the driver for not getting away quick enough.
He asked for help, and no help arrived.
Now, I did reach out to Lyft, and they have not gotten back to us
Yeah,
about
they're
the
silent,
policy
aren't they?
as to what drivers should do in an emergency, so we're still waiting to hear back from them. As for this criminal investigation, Chicago police have not made an arrest in the drive-by shooting or in the assault. Reporting.
So great reporting there. So clearly the passengers were working with the attackers because they were slouching down before the shots were fired. So they were protecting themselves, knowing that those bullets would come through the window. They knew that someone was after them. The driver calls the Lyft helpline, nothing happens. No one's at the destination. Instead, the driver gets beaten up. Brian Greening, stay on top of them and sue the heck out of them. Make them comply and make them change their safety ways, Brian Greening. Here's another take on this.
Is taking legal action tonight after he was shot at while on the job last month. Pictures show the damage caused by that gunfire. Amazingly, neither the driver nor his passengers were injured in the shooting. But after that shooting, the driver was beaten by a group of people. The entire incident was captured on Dashcam video. We do want to warn you that some of that video might be hard for some people to watch. ABC 7's Liz Nakey has more on the lawsuit being filed tonight and the Dashcam video that captured the attack.
The driver's dashcam starts on this ride. It's about 3 a.m. on December 19th, showing a female passenger slouched in the back seat, whispering on her cell phone. Another passenger, who you can't see in the dashcam video, is hiding on the floor of the car. Within 30 seconds, an SUV behind the Lyft pulls alongside them, and someone starts firing into the vehicle. Bullets shatter the windshield and startle the driver and both passengers, but the gunfire did not hit anyone inside the car.
Hurry up! Drive fast!
As the passengers repeatedly scream at the driver to speed up and keep going.
You can actually see in the video that my client is on the phone thinking quickly. He followed his training from Lyft to contact their emergency hotline immediately so that the authorities could be notified and that the vehicle could be tracked and therefore help provided.
The driver keeps going through the South Side neighborhood.
The passengers are screaming at him to drive as fast as he can. You can see him fleeing the scene.
The SUV is still following.
Eventually, he makes it to the destination with the passengers in his car, hoping and believing that the police are going to be there waiting for him.
Instead, there are no police. The passengers bail out of the car, and then about 2 or 3 men punch the male driver over and over again before he's able to speed off with shattered windows and a badly beaten face. Lyft said in a statement they've reached out to the driver to offer their support and will cooperate with the police investigation that's already underway. The attorney for the driver says that litigation is pending and the driver is still recovering from physical and emotional injuries.
I booked our hotel and kayak.
So this is a very strange story because the riders clearly knew what was coming their way. And it also goes to show that Lyft failed the driver. So you cannot rely, ladies and gentlemen, please do not rely on Uber's in-app security feature. Do not rely on Lyft's in-app security feature. Call 911. Call them directly and the cops will come, right? It's absolute bogus what Lyft and Uber are trying to sell you. And that is why Brian Greening from legalrideshare.com is suing the company, because the company once again failed the drivers, right? Now, it might just be too unsafe to drive in Chicago. It might just be too unsafe to drive in cities like Philadelphia, unless you are armed, right? Unless you maybe own one of these ones, right? Here. This is the one, right? You have a nice concealed one, like a Glock 43, right? That you might need in an incident like this, right? But we should organize a strike. We should organize a protest in these cities. I will contact Bryant Greening to organize this strike, legal rideshare, because he definitely gets the media involved in Chicago, and we'll get media involved in DC. We get media involved in Philadelphia, and I'm going to reach out to attorney Brian Greening today so we can organize a day with the media and the press. And if need be, I will gladly fly to Chicago or gladly fly to Philadelphia to do a joint press release with him. But it is my intent to reach out to Brian Greening today and coordinate a massive protest, a massive media day. This has to end, right? Too many innocent drivers are being shot, and many are going out there and buying themselves concealed weapons. You have to. In these times, you have to, because it's just got out of hand. It's crazy. In Philadelphia, there were over 520 incidences like this last year. And they brazen, they do it in the mid-daylight with brandishing weapons. They don't care. And if you are not armed, if you are not ready, if you are not trained, you could be 6 feet under the ground. So, and then I have a message to Danielle. The person said that I wouldn't report on this story because it was a black driver. I don't play the race card. I'll report on every story. Whether you pink, green, yellow, or black or white, I don't care, a continental. A story is a story. A human is a human. A driver is a driver. There are no differences to me. I'll report on every story. This story just came out at 10:30 p.m. last night. I did some trips and this is the first opportunity. So don't pull that BS race card that I'm selective and pick my stories based on color. If you go back and if you do a little bit of homework before you start assuming and talking out your ass, Danielle, you will see that I report on everything, right? Everything. This I report on the problem, right? To me, it doesn't matter who's behind the steering wheel as the driver. We need to protect all drivers, all our brothers and sisters, right? No matter what color, what race, what religion, what ethnicity, they all need to be safe. So I find it so low that you try and pull the race card. And if I could, I'd just give you a good slap with the South African puss clap right here for making such an idiotic statement. So that is why I kick this individual out of my channel, because I don't have time and space and energy to even chat to idiots like that who so thick up here and start pulling the card. I report on everything again. It really upsets me when people say, oh, you're selecting your videos. And no, I report on every, you will see in this channel, we report on every single story, because every single story needs to be amplified. Every single driver needs to be protected. And we have an opportunity again and again and again to highlight the failures of Lyft and Uber because they are not acting. And this BS in-app security thing that they're trying to sell us, that they connect us with the police, it is bogus, my friends. Time and time again, it has failed drivers, right? Please learn from this. Ignore that security feature. It does not work. That is why Brian Greening is suing them. Use 911 only. Grab your phone and there's 3 digits you dial, or you use one of these, right? And end their life, because they are about to, or they try to end your life. So I ask you, who comes first, you or the attackers? Get ready for this, my friends. We got to be ready, and we need to protest, and we need to stop driving in Chicago, in Philadelphia, and DC until they have have a remedy to fix this, right? Until the authorities have a game plan, until Uber and Lyft have a game plan to fix this insanity, right? Because in the meantime, drivers' lives are going to be lost. When do I have to make the next story about this type of nonsense? Believe me, it'll be tomorrow or it'll be the next day. They come in daily, multiple of them. So your comments, please, and make some suggestions. Let us know. Send a message to Uber and Lyft through this channel in the comment box what you think of them, right? Let us know what we can do about this. And please stay safe.